My boy, AJ Stizzle, my man, is not going to WrestleMania. Yo, what's good? My name is Reginald, aka the R-Star, aka Mr. Straight Fire, and this is Unabashedly Reggie's SmackDown recap for the episode of March 7th, 2017. Oh boy. I mean, we all knew, based on all the leaks, there were so many this year, that it would be Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania for the title. And Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles, but I still had some hope they would put on a swerve. But no. AJ lost clean as a sheet in the middle of the ring to Randy Orton. But we'll get to that later. So let's start with the show. The show started, well, first of all, the show as a whole, what I thought about it. I thought it was a good show, but it was not the best SmackDown. No, I mean, for once, Raw was a better show. I think from top to bottom, Raw was probably a really good show. It was. This SmackDown, it's not I mean, still good. It's still better than a regular Raw, let's face it, an average Raw. But anyway, so the first segment, you have Shane and Bryan. They come out. They basically explain the situation of the main event spot in for WrestleMania, right? So you have Randy Orton that won the Royal Rumble. Then he said, no, I don't want to face Bray. Then you had AJ Styles in the Battle Royal, blah, 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 blah. But what was interesting is that, as I said, it's in WrestleMania, it's going to be Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles, according to multiple reports. But what was interesting is that it was Shane who actually thought that AJ should go on to face Bray Wyatt, and Daniel Bryan was on Randy's side until they decided to have a match later on. So that's interesting. So I like that they're not making it super obvious that Shane is trying to put some roadblocks, no pun intended, in AJ Styles' way to WrestleMania. So that's pretty interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe, I think AJ Styles is going to get mad at Daniel Bryan, threaten him, and Shane's going to step in and challenge him, or something like that. I like to see that, because really, I don't think AJ has a reason to be mad at Shane, because Shane seems to be on his side. That was the segment, and later on, AJ Styles runs into Bryan and Shane, and he's pretty pissed off because he has to fight, blah, 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 and he kind of makes some threats to them by saying, I'm not scared of Randy Orton, I'm not scared of you, blah, 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 blah. So, now he's starting to get a little more aggressive, and by his loss tonight, I think he's going to be even more aggressive. Next segment, it was funny, we had the Mac Daddy of SmackDown, the man who puts the Mac in SmackDown, James Ellsworth. His promo was, because what I like about James Ellsworth is that when he talks, it's cringy, but it's supposed to be cringy, but I still think it's who he is, but he plays on that, so it's always funny. So we had the match, Ellsworth and Carmella, his friend who is a girl, like he said, that was funny, and they basically faced John Cena and Nikki for the first time. John Cena and Nikki teaming up on live TV, although I think they might have teamed up at some point with Ziggler or something like that. But the first time they were the two together. The match was, I mean, it was mostly Nikki against Carmella, but you had The Miz and Maurice that interrupted the show, well, the beginning of the match, distracted Nikki. Nikki got super kick in the face by Carmella, and then commercial, blah, blah, blah. And what I liked was The Miz on commentary. He was pretty good. He was running down John Cena with some great lines that I forgot to take note of, but maybe they were not that great anyway. But anyway, the way it ended, you had Ellsworth, Cena gets in, Ellsworth doesn't want to face him, and then Carmella forces him, basically, and John Cena just beats him up. Carmella steps in, pushes John Cena, Nikki Bella comes in, and basically she fights for a man, and it was a nice little spot where they both did the You Can't See Me 5-knuckle shuffle, and then Cena did his, I was going to say F5, no, as AA, Nikki did her I don't know how she calls her move now, Fearless something probably, and they both did the STF. So that was cool. But then Miz and Maurice, they pull out Nikki and John Cena out of the ring. They beat them up. They get in the ring. And Miz cut one hell of a promo. It was a great promo. The Miz on the mic is probably one of the best on the mic. Yeah, one of the best. I think most of all time, I would say. Of all time. I'm not saying it's the best. Relax. I'm saying if you had to make a top 25 of all time on the mic, you have to put the Miz. I don't care. In my mind, you have to put the Miz. And basically what he was saying is that John Cena is just trying to copy him, because when he saw the success of Miz with Maurice, now he wanted to capitalize on that with his relationship with Nikki. And he said, I didn't have to make a girlfriend contract. What was funny, referring back to, I think, not this, the last one of the last episodes of Total Divas. So that was good. And he said also, yeah, only made the relationship public because he saw a way to push the Cena brand. All things that, are they true? Like, if we're talking shoot, are they true? I don't know. I probably don't think so. Maybe, well, nah. I don't know, but whatever it is, whether it's true or not, I just love that promo. The Miz, great as usual. And Maurice, to top it off, wow, I don't know why they were still laying down, Nikki and John Cena, but The Miz takes the mic and she says, break that, bitch. She drops the mic on Nikki. That was great. Great segment. Then you have Orton, next segment, Orton, that has an interview with Renee, and I like what he said, where AJ Styles should be worried because look at what he did to Bourne, and then says, as a matter of fact, if I were AJ, I would run. Funny thing about that, we never saw Bray Wyatt the whole show. We didn't see him. That's interesting. I think they're trying to play off the fact that he's broken, really broken, and can't show up. So I like that. I like that. I like that. Great continuation. Next segment, Kurt Hawkins, he calls out Ambrose. Ambrose comes out, Dirty Deeds, and then they do the same kind of segment with Baron Corbin, bunch of Bender, blah, 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 threatening, blah, 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 it's not over, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, da, da, da. And when Ambrose was about to leave the ring, he Dirty Deeds, Kurt Hawkins, again, just for good measures. And you see, from segment to segment, you see Ambrose looking for Corbin, and then Corbin pushes a security guard out of nowhere on Dean, and then he attacks Dean with a lead pipe. And that moment, what happened in that segment, he basically beats the hell out of Ambrose. And then we had a moment that reminded me of the Attitude Era. Corbin takes a forklift and then lowers it onto the chest of Ambrose. That's kind of fucking, oh, sorry, excuse my language. That is freaking sick. But I loved it. It shows that Baron is a psycho, and I like that. They need to play that. It's a good trait, a character, I think, for him. The lone wolf, psycho wolf, all great. Then the next segment, I was kind of disappointed, was the Blizzardtation. Alexa Bliss, I love her. She's amazing. But this segment was kind of flat, in my opinion. So she was standing in the ring with Mickie James and saying, oh, such and such doesn't deserve a title, and she was making some funny quips here and there, but it was not, what she was saying was not really hitting. So you have Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch saying that she should face, basically she should face Alexa Bliss, then you have Natalya, and then they talk, and at some point, Mickie James says, well, none of you, speaking to to Natalya and Becky, none of you is going to get a title. I'm going to get a title. And Alexa's like, no, you're not. And Mickey's kind of pissed off, like, wait, I thought the whole point of this was I should get a title. And then you have Daniel Bryan, and comes out and he says, well, Alexa, if you think that nobody deserves it or you're better than anyone in the division, at WrestleMania, you're going to defend your title against every available women in the SmackDown brand. Now, I like that he said every available, which means that there's still hope for Naomi to be at Orlando and win the title. I think that's the best scenario. I think there's some rumors that maybe she's not going to be able to wrestle at WrestleMania. That would really stink. But I think she will be, and she will be the last entrant, and she will win. Some people are saying, oh, will Asuka be called up? I don't think so. I think she's probably going to stay in NXT for a little while again. And a lot of people think that she's probably never going to be called up. English, she doesn't really speak English, and that could be a problem. But I like for her to have a mouthpiece. Someone like Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke can talk, so she can really talk. But that would mean that Asuka would go on this Raw brand or whatever when they do a draft. I think there's rumors there may be a draft in May. We'll see. Anyway, Brian says, well, I'm going to do like Hall of Famer Teddy Long, holla, 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 and he does a tag team match, which was Natty and Becky, which strange pairing, against Alexa and Mickie James. What was the match? The match was not bad. It was okay. And in the end, Natty turns on. Well, is it really a turn? She was a heel already, but she just clobs Becky Lynch, and then and Mickie James was in the ring. She's about to get the pin, but Alexa just tags her in, gets the pin. And at the end, she was pissed. Mickie James was pissed, and she just kicked Alexa in the head. Now, is that a face turn or just a screw you turn? I don't care. I don't want to be linked to you anymore. I don't want that title. But I think that match is going to be interesting. Now, there's going to be a way more than 4 women in that match, because you have Carmella and possibly, well, of course, not Nikki, because she's not going to be available. Probably going to face Maryse and Miz. But they're not going to do that. But I love like a ladder match, women ladder match. They don't have to make crazy spot. Just it'd be interesting. I think like I would love the image of Naomi on the ladder holding the belt. That would be a great WrestleMania moment to see, in my opinion. Now, the main event, which I kind of discussed in the beginning, AJ Styles cut a promo. I love what he said, in my opinion, which is the truth. He said, SmackDown Live, the home that AJ Styles built, referring to Babe Ruth, the home, whatever, when they talk about the Yankees, they say something, the home that Babe Ruth built. I like that. I think it's right. In my opinion, the SmackDown MVPs, AJ Styles and The Miz. So he's right. The match, the crowd was really split. There was part that was for Randy and part that was for AJ Styles. And one thing I didn't realize is that, until now, it was 2 heels facing each other. No, well, that's true. Orton is no longer a heel. He's a face. I guess it was a face and a heel, but the crowd was split. The match started off slow, but in the end, it picked up. It was really good. I love that Orton did the urinage. I don't know how you say it, but the move that Bray does, which is basically a full Nelson slam, that was an interesting thing. And kudos to AJ Styles. He did a fireman's carry where he drops the guy on his knee. To do that to a big guy like Orton, AJ Styles might be like 5'9", but he's really strong. So that's something. And when he first came out in the WWE, because I didn't watch TNA, I was like, man, he kind of looks small and so on. And now look at me. Look at me. I got his shirt, and he's my favorite wrestler. One of my favorite wrestlers right now in both rosters. The end was really cool. I love the last spot where AJ Styles is about to do the forearm. And I'm like, all right. Oh, no. He's going to get countered with an RKO. It's so obvious. So AJ Styles is about to do the forearm. He jumps on the rope, but then jumps back. And Orton's ready to do the RKO, but he just falls on his back. And then I'm like, oh, my God, he might win. He might win. AJ Styles goes for the 450, springboard 450, misses, RKO. Actually, it got tossed in the air, RKO, 1, 2, 3. Great match. It was a good match. Like I said, the beginning was a little bit slow, but overall it was a great match. But I'm surprised that Randy Orton won clean. But in my opinion, they're the top guys in your brand. If they're gonna lose clean, the person that beats them has to go for the title. So that's what, for example, when AJ Styles beat John Cena clean, then he went for the title and he won it. So I'm cool with the fact that Randy Orton beats AJ Styles clean and Orton is going to WrestleMania. That makes sense. So I get it's not that big of a deal. So that was the show, SmackDown. Again, it was a good. SmackDown's never bad. That's It's never bad. I think it was above average. For some weird reason, Raw, top to bottom, was a good show. This one, it was not. There was nothing really bad in this show. We didn't see. Actually, wait. We did see Ziggler. I forgot a segment where you had Mojo Rawley saying that he's the first entrant in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle, which I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Although I think Braun is probably gonna win that, or maybe Mark Henry, like as a retirement kind of win thing. That'd be cool. But Ziggler came out and he said something, oh, you never had a WrestleMania moment, blah, blah, blah. Or wait, he said something about WrestleMania, and then Mojo said, well, you never had a WrestleMania moment either. So maybe they're going towards that, and I'm glad they just leave whatever the hell they were doing with Kalisto and Apollo Crews. I don't want to see that. I'm actually way more interested in seeing Mojo Rawley, who almost never wrestles, against Ziggler. I mean, I like Mojo. How can you not like him? He's got a, I like his, well, no, it's cliche, but I like his hype. I like his energy. It's cool. So maybe that might be a better feud for Ziggler, because I think the problem with Ziggler's heel turn is that they made him turn heel against a person, two people that nobody cares about. And I think the crowd cares more about Mojo than they cared about Apollo Crews and Kalisto combined. So that's it for the show. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel, click somewhere around here, and like this video. Until then, this has been Unabashedly Reggie. Thanks. It's been real.